Roshi and welcome to Ariel's Bookshelf. Today we're going to be doing the Harry Potter series and we're going to be doing 5 and 6. I'm going to start with Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is the 5th one and I would just say that the Harry Potter books are so good and entertaining that every single time I go to the library and I don't have any books finished to read because I read them all, I read these again and again because they're so entertaining. And they can entertain you for years. If I read this one time for every single second of my life, that wouldn't even get boring. Because every single time I can picture the characters a different way. And the good thing about books that don't have pictures is I can picture the characters. And I can, like, if there's this wondrous, magnificent animal or dragon or something, I can imagine it into my own way. And that way I have like the little challenge of imagining it, and that's better than watching the movie, but I'd also watch the movie to get a little picture. But then, like, I have to imagine them moving and doing all stuff. Anyway, so back to Harry Potter. I'd say that I love it when Harry Potter goes and he starts a new club under supervision of Dolores Umbridge, and he calls it the DA, and he names it Dumbledore's Army because that's what the Ministry fears most. And I think this is when he started to dislike the Ministry the most. I would also say that I think my most favorite part is when, at the end, when he's at his exams for Defense Against Dark Arts, and he just looks at Dolores Umbridge and he imagines her sacked and then makes the best protagonist, or whatever it is, in the whole world, or the wizarding world. And also, I would say that it would be like my most favorite part because as with Harry Potter disliking Dolores Umbridge, I also dislike Dolores Umbridge because I would just say that she's becoming she's like a Todd or Toad. She looks like a toad when I picture her and imagine her. And I do not like toads or frogs or any other amphibian creatures. I'm terrified of them. So, Dolores Umbridge is the worst part of this book, as I would say. And I would say that the funniest part is when the shield charm, and then I found out about the stuff that Fred and George Weasley having their Weasley's wizarding wheezes. And one thing that I would like to have is like one day just become picked up on the Hogwarts Express and go to Hogwarts. I would say that is one dream that is very impossible. That was my topmost dream that is very impossible. But if magic was true, it wouldn't be impossible. And every single night, I dream of not only like the dreams of when I imagine, like when I saw the movie of Harry Potter, and I saw the terrifying thing where on the back of Harry's first Defense Against Dark Teacher. Other than that, I also dream of good dreams, like what would happen if I came on the Hogwarts Express? What if I hit a go back in timer or something, and then it would make me go back in time and I would be in the time of Harry Potter. 1,000 other possibilities. I would just say that I have a whole world behind my dreams, and I would encourage all the other readers in the whole wide world and past the world, if that would be possible, which I believe it is, to believe in their dreams and just imagine. Let your imagination soar. Don't be afraid if your mom and dad say it's nonsense, which my parents do. They're like, oh, it's nonsense, that would never happen. So I think I've expressed my whole entire body out on this one. And one thing that I've learned from this book is to there might be cruel people in the world like Dolores Umbridge, but you just gotta do it because they can't stop you, even if the Emperor's curse on you, and that's a curse that makes you do what that person says. But even then, they can't make you stop your dream. after you finally got free of the impressors, that dream will still go on. And it doesn't have to happen. You can still just dream it. Just let your imagination soar and nothing can stop you from doing that. And I think that is a very valuable lesson in life. But I feel like I expressed myself way too much out here, so I will try not to do that as we proceed to Harry Potter number 6. In this one, I'd imagine that it has very much to do with the prophecy that he has heard in the 5th one. I don't think he really heard the prophecy, but still, he destroyed the prophecy, but went back in time through the Peeves and heard the prophecy. No one else did though. Not even Luna or Neville or anyone else who came with him. And of course, Ron and Hermione. And in this book, I think the most exciting part is when Harry has his lessons with Dumbledore, and then he finds out so much about Voldemort's past. Or as some people would be so terrified of saying, you know who. But I think we should all say Voldemort. But I think this book has told me, deal with your fears. Because in this one, Dumbledore dies, but still, Harry's carrying on with the Horcruxes, and sorry for the spoiler, but he's just carrying on, and he's not stopping. He's keep on being a wizard, and because he knows that's what Dumbledore would like him to do. And even if these would not be real in real life, I would encourage you to try and find someone who'd be like this. I think Harry has so many names. The boy who lived, the chosen one. I think Harry Potter is one name. That's part of a name. So here's what I think we should all do. Choose one name to call Harry Potter as, and one name to call Voldemort as, or you know who as, or the Dark Lord as. There's so many names for that one. But I'd just like you to say, don't be scared of names. They're just names. A lesson I learned in this story, I would say that is to keep on carrying on, as I told you in the beginning. And now I have 2 jokes for you. Where does the Queen keep her dogs? Do you know? I'm gonna give you 1 second, or maybe longer. At the Buckingham Palace. Get it? Instead of the Buckingham Palace. And I have another one here. Why did the girl put peanut butter on the highway? Because she wanted to go with the traffic jam. So, my wizards, I encourage you to read these 2 books and resist the prophecy and knowingness of Tom Riddle, another name, in these books. They're nothing to be scared of, and remember the lessons. Keep carrying on, and there's no need to be afraid to let your imagination soar. I'll see you next time, my young wizards.